more information you have, the better the decisions. Data is crucial to do important decisions in Dota games and even before the Dota game in preparation. It's really cool that a big company like SAP is investing into esports and that I can be a part of it is amazing.
Alliance was the first to fall today, but we're not done yet. Now it's going to be TP versus TP. Which one will be the only TP left in the tournament? My name is Rich. I'm joined on the desk by Fogged and Black, and it is going to be Thunder Predator going up against the Pango. That was a pretty good lead-in, wasn't it?
That was
yeah.
Very witty. I didn't understand it at all.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not smart enough.
Oh, well, that's on you.
Yeah, sorry.
It's completely on you, Black Hood. Let's start
Toilet paper. Oh, sorry.
Let's start by talking.
Anyway,
let's start by talking about these two teams. I feel like this is a little bit of a different matchup than what we saw earlier. Yes, we did favor Alliance, even though they were the team to drop out. But in this one, is it a little bit more one-sided in your mind, Fogged?
Yeah, I would definitely heavily favor the Pango over Thunder Predator. But that being said, the guys from South America, these guys from Peru, Thunder Predator, they're kind of crazy. Like, they actually have very high individual, like, mechanical skill on Atun and a couple of other players.
Or it's just the team play that holds him back.
But it's the team play. And I think the Pango overall, they have much better team play and overall better, like, ideas about the game. So
and they have Naive. The guy's good.
He's really good.
He's really good.
So Thunder Predator, you think if they're going to be able to take it, do you think they're going to need to kind of double down, rely on that individual skill, or do you think they need to go the opposite direction and try to get stuff going as a team?
I mean, I think stick to your guns. Give Atun something he's super comfortable on, or get him some last pick Huskar Meepo or something, because that's what he loves to play. And Matthew, I think he's the other one that's probably like the big standout for me. Is most of his he's really good at like his individual play too. So I don't think you want to venture so far outside the box and try to build like a team fighting kind of thing and fight what the Pango's good at. I think you have to just kind of break them up and do your own strategy and get your Atun on some super OP hero that he likes to play.
That being said, they took a map of forward.
They did.
So they could easily take a BO1 here as well against the Pango.
Yeah, I mean, they have taken games already here at the CQ Major.
The game, I remember, I think the game versus Secret was also pretty close, right?
Yeah.
That they played?
I mean, you can see the game times. There wasn't really any stomp.
Yeah, it was like the PA game. I think this was one of the PA games I remember versus Secret that they had that was actually, I was like, oh, wow. Like, they did pretty damn good in that one. So, yeah, that's, if they can get themselves on like these big like heroes that they just really like to play. But yeah, I'm still really worried about the team play.
They haven't been crushed at all. They're in the lower portion of the bracket now, and they need to just take one game if they want to stay in the tournament. And I think the biggest takeaway from what you said, Fogged, is just do you, boo-boo. We got to see Thunder Predator just stick to their guns, get everybody in their comfortable zone, and try to take one game. But what's the advice going to be? And now we can start to see what some of those heroes are. Not the best win rate here, obviously, but when we do start to talk about Pango, is the advice going to be kind of different for this team? This is a team that a lot of people maybe thought were going to make it into that upper portion of the bracket. What do you want to see them do, Black?
I don't want to see them put their hard carry player on a Dazzle. I mean, it almost worked. It almost worked, to be fair. Against Liquid, it almost did work, but the guy Naive, he's just so good on these hard carry heroes. Whenever he plays his Void, Terrorblade, Anti-Mages, he just, like, the team just plays so much better around it. They like to play 4 Protect 1, and Naive is really good at 4 Protect 1 too. And so is the team at playing around it, so I think they should just stick to that, especially in a BO1. Yeah. It's much safer, much more stable, so I'm expecting that.
I like that you brought up the Void. That's probably the biggest one for me for Naive, because it brings everything together, because it brings all their team fight and everything too, and he's amazing on the hero, and like I was talking about, I think Thunder Predator is really going to suffer if they're playing versus a hero that complements teamfight and also takes it to all the way to the late game. And we saw like they had 35-minute games. Like Thunder Predator were able to take it to these really good teams, but
you're also hearing, though, somewhat of a stylistic matchup that seems to favor Pango as well. All of a sudden you're saying, yeah, if they go comfort, they're going to go for something like team fights where we see this other team potentially struggle. So it seems like just the best matchup ever if you are a Pango fan. We're going to be taking a look at some of these players right now and what they've done in the tournament so far. Is that just the name of the game? Just everybody sticking to their guns here, Pango wins in this stylistic matchup, Fog?
Yeah, I think normally people look and they're like, oh, CIS, they want to be playing this like run at you kind of strategy and all that, but the Pango for me is a little bit different. I feel like Thunder Predator is actually the one that want to be doing the run at you. They want to be doing the frantic kind of plays around the map and just throw the Pango off their game. Don't let them play their style.
They were able to take that series off of J-Storm. They were able to take some important games as well. We're going to see that track record right now from this tournament, from the Pango. And I mean, Vici Gaming is an interesting one to talk about, definitely an interesting team to be looking at here. But seeing these wins off of J-Storm, how important is that to you, Black? Because we are going to see J-Storm a little bit later on in the day. I believe it's either our next series or the one after that.
J-Storm, honestly, they just look really, like, they didn't really impress at all. Like, I was looking forward to seeing Fear plays position 4, but it didn't really seem to make much of a difference. If anything, it made the team a bit more stale, I feel.
Okay.
Like, before they had this, like, X factor in Milan, he would just, like, explode in some games, have, like, some really good Rubik games, something like that. That would just actually carry them through the game. But now they're just, like, a very, like, stable team, you know? And it's like they didn't really break out to this like tier 1 teams yet. So I think they'll still need some time because, as I said, this flashy factor is gone now. Yeah. They would mostly rely on just stability and
they have one of the toughest matchups too, right?
Yeah,
so they're going to be playing against Forward. We will keep thinking about them. As we've already mentioned, if you're just tuning in right now, we're currently in the process of really trimming the fat here. We got 4 series, best of ones, 4 teams go home. Alliance has already fallen. Now it's either going to be Thunder or Pango to go home. Looking at them right now, we're seeing some of their statistics from the CQ Major.
The one thing I actually do want to point is the kills per minute, right? I think that's one thing that I was talking about is the erraticness that Thunder Predator could maybe actually have a success over the Pango. Is that right? They're killing a lot, get lots of kills, and just throw the enemy team off of their balance. And yeah, you see that board right there. They like to get kills.
The only issue with that is Thunder P usually doesn't really know how to transition into like objectives after that. If they can fix that, they're actually, I think, a great team because they kill a lot, but after that they're like, all right, let's go back to farming. Whereas other tier 1 teams will be like, all right, let's take this tower, take map control here, ward here, prepare for the next team fight and everything.
It seems like that's been like I've watched a lot. I mean, I'm Peruvian as well too, so I've watched a lot of like the Peruvian scene, a lot of the South American scene, and I've seen like that's always been the big problem for me. It's like they're very good at getting kills, they're very good at actually understanding what their heroes do, but the overall game plan, it's just like transitioning it into something, transitioning it into objectives is their problem. So that's their challenge here.
So when we look at the squad, when we do see some of those kills come in, we need to see, are they going to be able to switch gears? Are they going to be able to get over to an objective? Are they going to be able to convert anything on the map? If not, it could be pretty tricky for them to come up with anything here. But does this also go in line with the strategy that you said that you want to see them just kind of try to go fast as well?
Play fast.
But definitely pedal to the metal throughout the entirety of this matchup. Are there any particular heroes that you would like to see to go for that playstyle as well when we do get to the draft in just a few short moments here?
They haven't really been doing their like Huskars and Meepos that I like that Atun plays. I know he got in trouble for the the whole macro kind of thing that people talked about a while ago. Meepo macro. Kind
Ever
of
since then, he didn't play it.
He hasn't really played it too much since then. But I know he can play them without it. I have actually so. I think he does have those, but what are the other ones?
I think the fastest hero probably this term has been Troll.
Yeah, that's one that they do like to play as well.
Yeah.
I want to ask so bad because I honestly don't know what you're talking about being new here, but I'm like, oh, am I going to get fired if I ask for a saucy question?
There was, what was it? Was it in TI qualifiers or something? He got, someone was looking and like armlet, if you like double tap your armlet and stuff, you can look inside the combat log to see how fast people do it, and he was doing it at too fast and people were claiming that he macroed, and I think he got caught. So.
Yeah, and he did it with the Meepo too, I think. Yeah. Right? Did all the Meepos just...
Yeah, like it was just... It was too fast for human kind of reactions to be doing that.
It's like robot kind of
robot reactions,
like AI. Right. So that's obviously scripted. Scripts are not allowed in professional games.
Yeah.
And then you get disqualified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit happens.
All right. Yeah, shit definitely does happen. We're going to be jumping down, though, to the floor really quickly. We got an interview queued up. We got to hear what these players say before we jump into this elimination matchup.
Hi guys, I'm here at the Major with Atun from Thunder Predator. Hello, how are you doing today?
Estoy muy bien.
So tell me a little bit more about your team, about your teammates, maybe some funny facts, couple of words about each of them.
Algo gracioso es cuando la comida, cuando bajamos a comer. Bajamos y como que no sabemos qué escoger, qué comer y estamos yendo de un lado a otro y como que es gracioso.
So what do you usually find? Is it a fast food? What do you like with your teammates? Because a lot of people now love you know, healthy food, healthy lifestyle. What do you up to with that?
Sí, comemos bien sano y queríamos comer fettuccini ahí abajo y eso estaba muy rico. Somos de comer comida rápida.
Tell me about the preparation for the major. Maybe you guys had a boot camp or something.
Estamos muy contentos por la bootcamp que nos da y que estamos tratando de sacar todos los screens posibles en la bootcamp y jugamos todo el día screen y ranked y obviamente queremos permanecer en todo el tiempo de esta mayor, así que necesitamos prepararnos todo el día.
How many hours per day do you guys practice?
10 horas.
10 hours per day, that's a lot of time. About the qualifiers, they were pretty dramatic in the SA region. Tell me about your feelings when you realized that you are going to the major.
Oh, bueno, al comienzo estaba un poco triste al saber que 2 equipos extranjeros habían venido a nuestra región, que era muy difícil ya competir contra ellos. O sea, sí podíamos ganarles, pero estaba un poco reñido. Y yo ya me había esforzado ya un año llevando esto, tratar de clasificar, volver a esto. Y justo estaba en el cine y se me dio esta idea y estuve demasiado feliz, ¿no? Como regalo, no sé, sentí que valió la pena tanto tiempo.
You're talking about miracles, and did you feel that that was a sign, maybe the sign that you got your chance to prove yourself and to show yourself on the international stage?
Sí, siento que una vez más, siento que sí puedo dar la misma talla que ellos y más me divierte enfrentarme a ellos porque siento que puedo llegar a ese nivel, no me siento a mi tope. Entonces me emociona mucho y es feliz jugar este juego.
About the expectations for the whole tournament, what do you expect from it? Where do you think you will finish?
Yo pienso que podemos llegar entre los 8 y 7 porque conozco a mi equipo, tenemos mucha confianza y sobre todo somos amigos y básicamente vamos a variar en lo que piqueamos. Si intentamos cosas diferentes que ellos no hacen, entonces tenemos una gran chance de poder ganarles y siento que con mi equipo sí podemos.
I wish you guys the best of luck to show yourself at the major. Maybe you have something to say to all the fans who cheer and who support you back in Peru and maybe all around the world.
Bueno, yo quiero decirles a todos que confíen en nosotros, que sí podemos y que el Perú aún tiene mucho que demostrar, tanto en nivel de Dota y un saludo para toda mi familia, enamorada y mi tía Alba.
Thank you very much for your time and thank you guys for watching.
It was great to hear some words from Atun. I mean, this is one of the players that instantly, before we even started talking about these teams, you were like, we got to be watching him. He's going to be one of the key players in this matchup. Now we get to actually hear what he's thinking headed into this tournament. But while we were watching, you're talking about just how much he's grown up in the time in the scene.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm part Peruvian, so I actually got like flown down 4 years ago. I think it was about 4 years ago. I went down and I met actually a bunch of these guys for the first time, and he was like a little kid. He had he wouldn't really show his face. He covered his face up and everything too, but people would know him. They knew him as like top 1, top 2 dog of like dominating the mid lane. Yeah. So yeah, he's grown up a lot, and he still is a very, very mechanically talented player. A lot of people remember Atun and Kataro Hayama from Frankfurt Major doing the. If you had watched like the taunting, they just taunted and dropped their items and were pretty much like very, very like egotistical kind of in a way. And people got annoyed by it, but that's their playstyle. They're kind of goofballs, and sometimes I think it's a good thing. Sometimes I feel like it also does hold them back.
But that's also like one of those young things, right? You see a lot of those young players sometimes just be super, super confident, and then sometimes they'll change their playstyle as they get a little bit older. Have you seen that at all from him? Has he maybe gotten more mature, or has his playstyle changed at all now that he's been in the scene longer?
No, he's kind of stayed the same.
You love to hear it.
I don't think he's
you
really
love to hear it.
I don't think he drops. I mean, we'll see. He might still be dropping the items, but I haven't been seeing him do it as much. But he's still taunting. He's still being cocky. And that's important.
Good.
I think that's an important thing.
I think it's really important too. I mean, hey, you've played quite a bit. Do you think that that's something that's important as well?
I mean, I think it's gotten a lot more important lately because like you have all these in-game taunts and everything, and it actually does tilt some players, you know? Like, you drop an item in front of him after killing him, 1v1 mid, you're like, look, I'm destroying my item, but not really, ha ha ha, and you have to look at it. And
I mean, we saw it in True Sight, right?
Yeah.
Right as soon as LGD is sitting in the booth, they're like, do we have them all muted?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got them all muted. All right, we can play. Like,
Yes.
it's a mentality thing.
It's a huge factor, right? Even if you're not necessarily knowing that it's getting to you, you're taking that in, you're processing that, and it's going to be a factor at some point. We're going to see some of the statistics here on your screen, and before we jump into the draft, just trying to get that little bit of extra insight and also a final look at one of these teams, because one of them is going home in just in less than an hour, most likely. Pango versus Thunder Predator. Anything jumping off the screen to you right now, Black?
Not too much.
One of the, I see 1420, but I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
I can't read any of those
1420
words.
versus 7, that's a much bigger number than the other one, but I'm not sure what it is.
I mean, I would tell you if it wasn't pinning, but I can't read the symbols.
Yeah,
That's the only. That's the biggest one that stood out to me, at least. Like, it's just it's double.
What about 24.55 meters of cable?
I'm not too sure what they are.
Just laying cable.
No, I'm pretty sure maybe it was in-game time. I'm not
I think
sure.
those were
Minutes?
no, because their average game times were like 32 and 37.
Oh yes, there must be meters of cable. Like
Yeah.
we see it right there.
Yeah, they actually showed us. You were correct. Your
You're actually
Chinese
right.
is
That was actually a
fantastic.
pretty good
Yeah,
call.
they're laying cable.
Not bad.
We
Was that-
just got to see some of the cable that they did lay throughout the menu.
Dude, it's so hard to ever. You know, I lived in China for 2.5 years. I learned a lot of Chinese. I spoke quite fluently, but learning these symbols, I've never gotten to. This is so difficult.
Yeah.
I like learned the pinyin, like the written form. Like it kind of looks like English, but the symbols, dude.
No, that's when you know it's bad, though. I look over at that screen and I'm like, oh yeah, that's something that I thought it was just an in-game thing. It was Chinese. I got confused there for a second, you know. So pretty much every graphics looked like that to me. Trying to figure it out, Chinese. Just Chinese. But ultimately, you got to see some pretty graphs. Now we're going to jump into something that we will understand, and that is going to be the draft up on your screen right now. We already got those early bans coming in, and now we're going to see what the opening is going to look like for Thunder Predator. We started to talk about the play style that we can expect to see. Fogged wants to see these guys go fast, and we're going to get a look at if that's something they want to do as well.
Yeah, I don't think they can beat them in late game. I think the Pango is much better in late game than the Predator. So
Pressure.
already picking up the Beastmaster, one of the best pressure heroes in Dota.
Also, I do want to bring it up, but before we start to talk about some of these details, this is probably one of the more one-sided matchups that we expect today in the lower portion of the bracket, right? Like, we really do expect the Pango to take this one.
Yeah.
Like, more confidently than even what we saw with Alliance versus Chaos. Obviously, that went the other way, but...
Yep. Big edge to Thunder Predator here.
I really like. The thing is that Earth Spirit's just a beast. Earth Spirit, Fear, Nation
Monster,
Prophet,
yeah.
they are pretty strong, but this is a very strong, like, fast-paced opener coming out from Thunder Predator. And I think Bane is a hero that's it's a little bit of a weird one that people haven't, I mean, they were picking a lot in the beginning, and then it's been kind of strayed. Only certain teams are using it, because he's a hero that affects status resistance. Like, if you use your Enfeeble and then someone gets roared, that roar lasts like 8 seconds or something, or 6.5 seconds. It's actually pretty insane, and we haven't gotten to see too much of it be experimented with. But
How much
kinda
reduction
cool.
is it? 80% status resistance?
It's a lot. I can't
like that?
remember the exact numbers right now, but
But it almost doubles.
yeah, it's
Debuffs.
pretty ridiculous how long it would be, and they banned the Meepo. I like that.
At the same time, though, the Bane is very weak against the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and versus Earth
And
Spirit.
Earth Spirit too, yeah. Getting off the grip is going to be very hard task this game.
That's actually a good point. Like, I did like when I first saw it, but now that we're like second glancing at it, like Beastmaster I like versus both, but Bane versus both is a bit of a struggle. But he's a strong laner. It just he doesn't want to be dealing with treants.
And just a comfort here. And always when there's a guy split pushing alone, you catch him, he's dead.
Yeah, they've already got 2 BKB piercing disables, right? Which is always good to have. But right away you look and you're like their team fight is going to be a little bit different because Bane doesn't provide you. He's different. He's a pick-off kind of guy rather than a big team fighter.
Certainly.
Does that pick-off playstyle, as we see TB get locked in here, does that pick-off playstyle back up that aggression? Does that back up the idea of going for kills just outside of team fights?
Yeah, definitely. Fast pace. Usually like these single target ultimates for the most part are lower cooldown than the Ravages, Chronospheres, and whatnot. So it would dictate a faster pace.
Yeah, and we criticized their objective taking before. Now they have TB as well as Beastmaster, 2 of the fastest taken objective heroes in the game.
And it's TB versus Nature's Prophet, which is one of the more favorable. you're high armor, so you don't have to you don't really suffer too much from the right clicks and the treants and whatnot.
What do you think about the Lich? Lich, I feel, I mean, obviously he's a strong hero all the time, but picking a third against what you already see, like there's Beastmaster boards, there will be a Necro out, there's Terrorblade Illusions, Mantas. This Lich ult is not really gonna have a big impact, I feel. Obviously it's nice. Yeah, Frost Shield is Elder Titan.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he made it through, man.
Hell yeah. He didn't get touched in the last game either. He was unpicked, unbanned.
Yeah, I think it takes, like the hero needs to be played really well to have a good impact. You can't just pick it for any player, I think.
You have to know the ins and outs. You have to spam that hero as ET spammer here. I mean, it is really strong.
Hero is difficult. Like you have to stack camps, you have to always walk through the camps, you have to be very, very knowledgeable about the hero.
Yeah.
So that ET getting locked in on the side of Thunder Predator.
Timber saw time again.
Maybe. This ET kind of fixes their problem that they don't really have too much team fight right now, right? That's the one beauty of ET. He's just like, you see him and you're like, all right, team fight secured for the most part.
And counter initiation as well.
Yeah.
One thing they lacked.
He's also, it's not the best versus Nature's Prophet, but you get bonus damage and armor too, like the treants.
Yeah. And if you ever get a stomp on him, he's kind of just dead.
Yeah.
Because you just surround him, swarm him.
Long distance gives you vision inside the Sprout too, right? They've got pretty good vision aspect right now on the side of Thunder Predator between Hawk and ET.
Yeah. I would say Timber is really good for the Pango, but it's not really their playstyle.
Yeah.
It will be more like a supporting mid and then a hard carry for Naive.
It looks more like a Void to me, right?
Yeah.
I know they really like it.
Void is alright.
It's okay. Just like Bane and Beastmaster can be a bit... Bane, Beastmaster, and Elder Titan can be of a nuance inside of your...
Mm-hmm.
Be pretty annoying inside that Chronosphere.
Honestly, against these kind of heroes, AM is a really good hero. But obviously TB is really good against AM as well.
Yeah. I don't want to see too much more AM.
I know you're a hater now. You're a hater now. I'm a believer.
Your AM
It's just this AM versus Dusa. I've seen it like 3 times this tournament. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's because they lane it. They don't lane it against it.
Yeah.
They see the Dusa
Speaking
again.
of Medusa.
Speaking of Medusa.
How do you like this?
It's alright. I mean, it's just a stable hero. Doesn't stand out as like game winning or anything. It just, you know how to play around it. You know what you need to do. And it's just, you know.
And this, I mean, Lich Dusa, it's like this, we've seen this so many times, this damage reduction plus like Medusa. And
it used to be terrible when Stone Gaze like turned them into stone and they had like took 0% magic damage.
Yeah.
But obviously that's gone now, so Lich ult plus Medusa ult is actually a strong combo.
Well,
and you can even Sinister Gaze them into Stone Gaze. I mean, that's a very little specific thing. That's kind of cool.
It works, yeah.
But Lich alone, I mean, we've seen coming into today, 34 games played, 56% win rate. It just seems like something, even without the Medusa, that we've seen just so frequently here at the CQ Major.
Yeah. Yesterday we've seen him being first picked a lot. Today he's getting picked a bit later, sometimes not even at all.
Yeah, there were a few times that we saw him get picked a little bit later yesterday as well, but he's pretty much always getting some attention paid to him, whether it is as a pick or a ban.
Yeah. Has been second phase twice today.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind like the how do you feel about like the TB versus Dusa thing though? It kind of goes both ways, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think late game I give the edge to TB because you have to take this range plus a 300 range on the meta. You can kind of just you actually eat the Medusa alive with like 5 illusions there.
Yeah, and you have a bit of an amplification too because you have the ET, so.
So
and you have your reflections really good versus the Dusa.
I never like Dusa too much against TB, but obviously just a stable hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if they pick like a Void on top of that now, it's just we wanna play late game. We wanna beat you there.
I do really. I'm not like super favoring like either side either. I'm liking both drafts. I like what Thunder Predator has. The Pango also has a really solid draft.
Dragon Knight.
Okay.
It really feels like TB is having a free game right now. He hasn't been addressed at all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just will he be able to get... The thing is they have ET to stall. They've got good vision.
It's so scary, the team fight. Like, TB plus Beastmaster has so much damage.
Yeah, I'm just scared. I feel like I've been seeing so many times, I'm like, oh, you know, if they make it late, you know, we were talking about AM Furion, if they make it late, but I'm seeing these Medusa drafts, and now they have a DK too. What if they just like group up and they just kind of start just going?
The only way I see Pango lose is if they're like 5-man and they actually lose the team fight somehow. Like this TB just gets to focus someone down and then they scramble to get away and then they get chased and die that way. Then I think Thunder Predator is in a really good spot, but the early pressure of Pango is super strong right now.
Yeah.
So you're putting a lot of the pressure on the TB right now.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, the TB, although he has been picked early, he hasn't been addressed like directly. So if the TB gets a good game, he can definitely carry the team through.
They do have damage reduction, though. They have the Breathe Fire damage reduction and the Frost Shield damage reduction versus TB. Yeah. So that's a kind of an, ooh.
Timber saw.
There's the Timber.
Now, why are we seeing Timber so many times getting picked last in these drafts? I've seen it quite a few times here. What is the reason that we see Timber a lot of the time go very late, being that last pick, rounding out the entire comp for Team Black?
I mean, he's just a... Like, if you last pick him like this, you see there's not a lot of magic damage. Then he just becomes this... What we've seen last game, he just pushes your tier 2 tower, and even if you bring 4 heroes there, you can't kill him.
Yeah.
That being said, I really don't like Timber against Medusa. Once you have the snake talent, you actually just run out of mana and you're walking nothing. Like, you can't right-click people. Like, I played it in the pub. He was like 10-0. I snaked him twice. He was completely useless.
And they have natural Spirit Vessel Builder. They have an Earth Spirit. And Earth Spirit's also really damn good versus the Timber Saw too. I still do. I don't really hate what they have. It's not bad with like the ET and the Bane and the Beastmaster and TB, but yeah, I'm not crazy about the last pick.
I think the last pick kind of... I mean, they could have rounded it out way better, and I think I would have favored them maybe in the draft, but the way it is, I think Pango has a better draft.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pango slightly coming out on top, and we're going to have to see if that is matched when we actually do touchdown in the game, and one of the ways we're going to do that is with the analytics provided to us by SAP. Want to give them a major shout-out for everything that they've been doing all tournament long, but now we're ready to jump into the action. This is another best of one. Who's going to be going home?
Thank you so much, and I can't believe I'm hearing this. Giannis is going against ET. What the hell's happening, man?
He's, couldn't double down, Doesn't believe in his South American brethren as well. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting game, though. We set up for it. The Pango coming into this one, the favorites, I would definitely say. But to me, this draft from Thunder Predator looks like it could be set up for a win in this best of one. And it all comes down to just one game. Do you think they have the better draft?
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of these late Timbersaw picks, and sometimes they just win games on their own. That's kind of what happened last game. That Timber was not addressed, and it just took over. This game... theoretically could be the same. We're going to see some adjustments. Don't send the DK mid against Timber. That's a matchup where DK will get destroyed. They're going to put the Medusa there. So this mid matchup at least is not quite as favorable for Timbersaw. He's going to get constantly snaked until he has that Soul Ring. He's not going to really have mana to actually use spells on Medusa, but I think it's still actually a pretty good Timbersaw matchup. And just Timbersaw game, period.
Yeah. We did see already the Hawk being sent out there. Beastmaster sent one to the top lane just to give him a little bit of extra vision since they figured that people might be coming in to contest, and already the Nature's Prophet and the Earth Spirit are going to be there. And Matthew just standing up on the high ground. Bottom lane, Beastmaster will probably just be able to block out the camp if he wants to as well, and looks like the Treants are going to spot out this ET here. Well, doing a little dance for Ghost Stick. It's the classic. He'll get some bonus damage and a little bit of armor and then walk away.
Turn around and fight this room with the spirit damage they've just gotten. Plus 29 damage on Matthew.
Well, could be nice. A lot of Treants moving into position. Matthew gets the bonus damage yet again, and looks like he's not quite going to be able to steal away that bounty rune. So looks like 3 bounty runes going for the Pango.
Yep. Using those Treants to do some additional body blocks, helping secure that rune. As it does look like Thunder Predator are going to be going for a full-on tri-lane up top, but it is tri-lane versus tri-lane. Nature's Prophet in it. Gostik's going to have... oh, no, he's only got one support up here for now, the Earth Spirit, so it's not going to be tri-lane versus tri-lane fully as Pango look to secure the Dragon Knights lane down bottom.
Yeah, and it does get a little bit contentious there as King R is just going to roll over here to the side, it looks like, get around the other angle.
He's off to pull creep waves, I imagine. You see this tri-lane, you're like, oh crap, we can't versus tri-lane. How do we play against this? You need to pull waves. So that's his job for at least now. He may just pull one wave and then go gank mid, gank bottom lane, as Prada is going to look to mess with this a bit.
And normally the way that you contest this is with a Bane, but he is not skilled Nightmare. Yep. Taking the Brain Sap instead means that he's not going to be able to just put that King R to sleep and cause any issues.
Yeah, it's surprised he's not using Brain Sap. 90 mana spell. Like, just chuck it out. You've got full mana, Prada. Use your mana. Oh, he blocks it. He's got a first blood here.
Nice play here for Prada. Oh, the Fairy Fire, the walk away. It's not going to be there.
Too much move speed. 313 on Bane and Earth Spirit 292. So just chases him down, gets the kill.
Prod is feeling good about himself.
That Griffle laughter, it's obnoxious. Coming in mid now, they're actually going to pressure Naive as well. He's in some trouble.
A lot of damage
Courier?
here.
Courier?
In some trouble. Can they get it? They are going to be able to find the kill on the Courier, but will lose Naive after the fact. The rotation coming in from Ghostic and King R. They want to get something in return. Another Brain Staff in 7 seconds. Not sure if he's going to be able to get it in time. Wants to deny himself to the neutrals, and it will happen.
He even hits Earth Spirit with the Desecrate. Nice. Double value.
Easy peasy.
They get the kill. They lose the Courier, though. What was he doing? Draken, you got to watch that one. It was right underneath the tower. It was in Medusa's attack range for 2 right clicks. Nature's Prophet didn't even need to TP for it, so bit of a miss micro there, but they get the kill. Bane, 5-position Bane having such high impact already on this laning stage.
You look at where Beastmaster is right now, he's perfectly fine with this. He's been able to have himself a very nice lane, was blocking out that small camp continuously, and with Prada moving down bottom, well, we'll see if they can make anything happen here. Obviously, DK an incredibly hard hero to try and gank.
Yep, he's already just stopped the side pull, which is, you know, helpful in itself, so I think Beastmaster Frank will be pretty happy down here.
Oh, stop away. And they're fine. We're going to hear a lot of laughing here today, although Slayer, while DK is very tanky, Lich not so much.
Yep. Lich goes down, and that's 3 unanswered kills going the way of the South American squad. These lanes looking very solid for them. It's not just the kills. You can see in the CS that these lanes are going incredibly well for them. Even able to just leave a Toon kind of somewhat on his own up here. The Bane able to rotate bottom. The ET bit low will have to go back to base before, I imagine, return to this top lane. But yeah, TP's doing just fine, even on his own against the Nature's Prophet. One of the better heroes equipped to deal with Prophet and Treants because of that insanely high armor.
Yeah, not really much that they can do if they don't find a roll-in from Earth Spirit. But the thing they can do is at least come and find this pull. It is going to be scouted out since there is a observer ward placed there. And we'll see if TB comes to try and contest it all on this pull. Should be able to. But we'll miss out on a couple of creeps being denied there, as there is another movement from Bane on the bottom lane also to try and get the creep wave possibly pulled here as well. And looks like he's going to try and connect that one. Deny what he can.
So it looks like Courier's going to respawn now. And losing that Courier meant this Soul Ring came out a lot later. So this mid lane's gone a whole lot better for Medusa because Leo Style hasn't had the Soul Ring. But that's not where the action is.
King R just keeps getting punched, and another block coming out from Thunder Predator. They find the kill with the Toon. This Terrorblade having a great time.
That to me is the big story with the Pango at this tournament is they're playing without, in my opinion, one of their best players. Zayats is such a playmaker, and King R on this 4-position role just hasn't felt anywhere near as impactful as what Zayats brings to the table. And we're seeing it here. His Earth Spirit is kind of feeding kills so far. He's died several times and has not had the impact he'd hoped from this top lane. He does find a kill here on the respawn back in. It's just a support, though. They're not pressuring Atoon's TB. Yeah. I feel like this Earth Spirit's being more of a liability than an addition to their laning stage.
Well, and it's also Thunder Predator making the good plays there. Matthew sacrificing his life with that boulder to make sure that the TB wasn't the one that gets jumped upon. Yep. So 5-minute mark now. It looks like Bounty Runes are going to be going 2 apiece most likely, unless we see a Nature's Prophet TP or something. But Naive with the DD, able to have a nice time there against the Timbersaw so far in the mid lane. And well,
he's like, I just got a range creep deny against double damage. That gets you a tip. That's the South American flair we love to see. They may not have heroes with taunts this game, but they have got chat wheel and tips.
Easy peasy. And so far, off to a little bit of a lead after the 4-1 kill score.
Yeah, this top lane though is kind of becoming uninhabitable for the Terrorblade with both supports up there, and even Nature's Prophet. Yeah, it's physical damage that you can kind of shrug off. He just doesn't feel like he can get the last hits he needs, so he's gone back to the jungle already. Not too big of a deal, as he's going to farm almost just as fast in jungle as he does in lane.
Classic TB things.
Yep.
And we'll maybe see somebody rotate in there to mess with him in the jungle, but if they leave him to his own devices, the game could become a little bit tougher for the Pango as it goes on. And, well, just continuing to farm up here. Is there a team that you think feels maybe more comfortable going into the later stages on an even footing?
Let's see. It's probably pretty. I mean, TB versus Medusa is maybe ever so slightly better for the TB at a certain point, but it's definitely one of those, you know, matchups where both heroes have their timings.
Matthew jumped on here by King R. Prada's in the area and does not decide to go for any nightmares, but will just kill off King R. And now Attune moves into position. But you need to be careful here. Slayer going to get wrapped around upon. Was able to switch over the aggro with the Treant, and that might keep him alive a little bit longer, and maybe even for the full duration, although ET is respawning now and going to go for the Stomp, able to find that Lich and give the kill to Attune.
Nice!
Oh, that was sick.
He was farming under the tower. I'm like, okay, TB's not going to get the kill. He just, you know, ditched to go farm the creep wave. I like that decision, but he does get the kill with the illusion. Very nicely done. And Attune is off to a very hot start with this TB free farming away, but you know, there's a free farming Medusa in mid lane who hasn't really been beat down too much by Timbersaw, thanks to the kind of the courier kill and just Medusa being a decent matchup there.
No. Draken did force her back to the fountain just a second ago, getting his level 6 with Terrorblade also at level 6 now as King R is going to place down a ward. Back out the other direction, but that was all under the vision of an Observer ward, so should be taken down relatively shortly. And in the meantime, Frank, seeing that there was a rotation bottom, is going to back up and play it safe. They immediately take it out by Prada.
Yep.
Where's the tip? That's not happening.
It's probably run out already. That's, you know, that's their downfall, is they use too many tips. Radiant actually put down a sentry of their own. They're like, oh crap, he got that insta D ward. He must have seen us ward, but they guessed wrong. They put the sentry in the wrong place. As we'll see where Pango go next. They've got this DK level 6, so he's just kind of spamming that off cooldown, trying to do what damage he can to the tier 1 tower over time. Hasn't done all too much just yet. Sailor, until he really gets like a mobility item, like a Blink or a Shadow Blade, he's not really an active kill threat on the map.
Oh, and, well, they spot out the Bane moving over to the side, and we'll be able to find the punish there. Although now Thunder Predator bringing 3 other heroes bottom, while top lane is being pushed in by the TB.
I think they know if they just send heroes bottom to fight, they're creating space for TB to free farm, but ultimately, Pango just say, yeah, we're getting out. DK's ultimate's going to be wearing off. He doesn't have any points in Dragon Tail. He's gone for this 2-0-3 build, very passive, literally getting 3 points in the passive above everything else, and he's going to be just playing a farming game for now.
Yep. And they're actually even going to bring the TV bottom. Wasn't quite able to connect there on the Stomp as it already TP'd out, and it looks like it's just going to be that tier 1 tower trade-off, most likely, as DK is going to run out of his dragon form, but seems unlikely Thunder Predator will be capable of TPing into battle for it.
Yep, they just profit Treants here, so more than enough to defend this one, but they've still got a lot of heroes down bottom. TB's Metamorph is down, but with Timbersaw here and the reactive armor, he may just be able to secure them this tier 2 as well, if Pango don't defend it. Mid lane though.
Oh, on to Prada. He'll have the brain sap, but will eventually be ran down and punched, although he didn't get hit there and killed off by that last one. Another brain sap, actually living King R a bit too far forward. Now Prada's on the hunt, wants the kill, and will find it. Oh,
man. King R continuing to be a bit of a liability at times. He's, you know, he's the stand-in here, so you not really to entirely place blame on him, but it's been a tough game for him on the Earth Spirit.
Sinister Gaze.
Oh, great block on the Timber
and
Chain.
a good kickback, and well, the Stomp just coming a second too late.
They got the tower in deny range too, so Pango, if they want, can just deny this gold away from Thunder Predator. And yeah, no reason to keep this tower alive. They're going to deny it, which is a decent chunk of income at this stage of the game. Both teams will get 2 bounty runes, it looks like, so nothing too crazy, what you'd expect considering which parts of the map they have control over.
And that is a relatively large kill also, that Timbersaw. Just even keeping him off of the map, really important. We saw just how much pressure Weehaw was able to apply early on. Now the rest of the Pango can group up and maybe make a rotation to kill the Terrorblade in the next couple of minutes, although he's farming in just about the safest place on the map that you could hope to be.
Yeah, it feels like ganking him right now is a big time investment that may just not be feasible. You haven't actually got that much magic burst damage, so until DK has, I guess with a Blink Dagger and like a Chain Frost, it's maybe doable, but you've got to find him. So without vision on where he's farming in the jungle, it seems like you're better off just going for plays around towers and objectives. Like make a play around this mid tier 1 tower with the next DK ulti form, and that's going to be where I think Pango can take some ground.
Something else we might be seeing in the near future is you talk about vision there, the Beastmaster maybe trying to place down some more Hawks into positions where they're spotting Ancients. He's already placed one in the bottom jungle, but there is a 2-stack at least on the other Ancient camp up on the top jungle. Yep. And it looks like there's going to be a smoke rotation now.
does feel like they've made it so this Timbersaw is nowhere near as impactful as we've seen most. 11 minutes and he hasn't taken the mid-tier 1 tower. He did rotate bottom and was a part of those 2 towers. There's the gank. Will be an easy kill. No immediate tower follow-up. They could try and pressure the tier 2 up top, although that does put you in a pretty risky position to get flanked from the shrine if you're not careful.
Yeah. Instead, it's just going to be Thunder Predator moving in, taking down that tier 1 tower. Yep. They had the Hawk behind it, so no possible rotations there. And Thunder Predator, with the tier 1 already dead.
That's where that move top to gank at Bane does not feel all too nice right now. You lose a tier 1 mid, and now your tier 2 is being pressured. Pango need to do something about this.
Yeah, Lich wrapped around from the other side, and Thunder Predator all in this little jungle area. They move forward with the Dragon Knight, but he's kind of going into all of them. Matthew can create a little bit of space here. Things get too dicey, and Sinister Gaze used for the moment. Gonna find that Bane, but a big stomp. Gonna connect onto 3. The jump through coming from Draken. They also have the Fiend's Grip down to Ghost Stick, but it's gonna be broken, and now they've lost King R as well. Can they find any more here? Terrorblade low Sunder. It doesn't get off in time, and that will be a dead TB, and that's key. Everybody else needs to get the heck out, except for Matthew, who wanted to find that kill on a Ghost Stick, but won't be able to get it.
That Stone Gaze, and the second it wore off, DK was ready with a stun, preventing him from getting the Sunder out. There was just enough damage to kill him before the Sunder, and very nicely coordinated. This is kind of the risk of going for these plays, and also the risk of TB being on Agi treads. He's sitting on less than 800 health. If you're pushing tier 2 towers and 5v5ing, having 700 odd health is not really enough. I think you definitely need to be on strength treads for a fight like that. If he had strength treads, he probably gets that Sunder off. But I think more than anything, you're kind of at this point where TB's not ready to fight. You're just way too squishy as a Terrorblade.
Oh my god. Well, Slayer trying to see how squishy he is.
I mean, he probably saw him sitting there on, what, 780 health, and knows if he just gets 2 bounces with a no Frost Blast, it's actually a kill. So if he, assuming he stays on Agi treads, which he actually switched to strength there for, luckily.
Well, Slayer's going to be punished for going forward that far, but you know, you miss all the shots you can't take or whatever.
It was a bit ambitious, that's for sure. But definitely getting a little, you know, eyes bigger than his stomach there with the TB being as squishy as he is to the magic damage.
Yeah. Well, so it does feel like Pango have been able to get their feet back under them a little bit here, and going to try and pressure the bottom tier 1 tower while simultaneously Thunder Predator are taking other towers.
Medusa 3 levels ahead of Terrorblade and a good 2,000 plus net worth ahead, so much more efficient farming and just game for Naive. TB's kind of been playing around the team, pushing these towers together, and just got pressured a lot more in lane. So Atoon's kind of going to be in catch-up mode, and this is where going late game as Pango doesn't feel all too bad because your Medusa's ahead of TB.
They do see 2 heroes rotating out of the top lane, although actually Matthew sticks around for a second longer. And now with the Nature's Prophet moving into vision, he's going to get stomped as he respawns out of there, but a quick kill into Matthew. Curious what they can get out of this rotation, since it is going to be Dragon Form popped and no towers nearby.
Probably not much else. They'll farm. Nature's Prophet's in the jungle. Other heroes also jungling, so it doesn't seem like they're all too interested about going for any big play right away off of this.
Another stack of the Ancients and Bounty Runes. Looking like, again, it's going to be a trade-off.
Prada's doing a really good job with these wards, except getting scouted every now and then, and this is another one that's going to get dewarded by the Lich, so trying to be active with this vision game, but I think that's like 2 wards in a row he got spotted planning that have been dewarded now.
Do have the bonus of a Hawk, at least, from them, but it's never good to lose that extra little bit of vision, as it is going to be Manta style done now for the Terrorblade. And this does feel like a kind of nice timing here for Thunder Predator if they can possibly push the tempo, considering that it's that looming threat of a Medusa. Granted, you don't get rid of your illusions anymore with Stone Gaze, but
she just hit level 15, so this talent's insanely good, and there's a lot of things to bounce off. You know, against TB illusions, it's just going to clear him out and basically give Medusa a full mana pull as well to go with that.
Yeah. Ultimate Orb going to be delivered to her as well, and it looks like Thunder Predator on the hunt, wanting to make something happen here. The roll away from King R, as they did spot that rotation over, and doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch anybody. So Timbersoft, he was able to get vision here. That was a long TP. Could have maybe gotten it with the Eul Scepter. No such luck.
Yeah, both teams playing a pretty slow game. Neither team is amazing at killing Roche. Both are okay. Like, you've got this carry TB Medusa who can kind of right-click it while you have a, you know, DK Nature's Prophet who can tank it with Treants and whatnot, or on the Dire side you've got Timbersaw who can take it. So both teams can Roche very slowly, but neither team is far enough ahead where they can just go for Roche. So until somebody wins a team fight, it doesn't really feel like we're going to see major objectives being taken. We're just going to keep seeing these trades where Dire plays one side of the map, Radiant plays the other, and both teams are kind of avoiding each other to a certain extent for now. ThunderP are going to, you know, take a chance here. Yeah, I would say I don't see Pango letting this one go down uncontested. There we go. Here they come.
Oh, but the Fiend Script. They have found the DK already and blowing him up pretty quickly. The Medusa also, the Reflection Knife just gets eliminated and also going to most likely lose this Dragon Knight. Thunder Predator just killed the 2 cores like it was nothing.
Yeah, that's how you take Roche. You're going to get those kills. You're going to win that fight first. And Pango, no, Roche is going on. So they're like, all right, you guys don't get a free Roche for this. So they're immediately rotating in. But the problem is they're rotating in and they're split up. And Dire team Vision. That was all about the Vision game. They have Observer Wards, they have a Hawk. That's what allows the Bane to get that pick off with the Fiend's Grip. You isolate that DK, nothing to cancel the grip. So DK dies without using any spells, without getting his blink off. And then they also find the Medusa and kill her.
Prada needs to live, has the Brain Sap. They're turning onto Ghost Stick now, trying to kill off this Nature's Prophet, and actually end up finding the kill on the Bane with that Wrath of Nature. But eventually, with the Stomp and with the full combo coming from Draken, it's enough to get another kill.
They catch out Ghost Stick. They won't mind losing the Bane for that one. That's a core hero going down. They've secured themselves an Aegis onto a Toon, who's farming incredibly well, and Pango have got to be sweating a bit right now. Their Medusa was doing so well, out-farming the TB, dies in that fight, and a Toon with Aegis now is going to be feeling unkillable. And got to imagine Thunder Predator are going to be looking to make another play once that Metamorph comes up in about 60 seconds' time.
And pretty much sitting on that same net worth right now also. Basically the exact same item builds for both of these heroes with the exception of the Quelling Blade instead of extra Wraith Bands on the Terror Blade. It's a way to escape from that Sprout. And at that 18-minute mark, if they hit it at the same time, we saw, you know, that single target disabled for Medusa, they need to be able to get that broken. If you have a Fiend Script and then Reflection, she will die.
Yep. Does need to be very careful. Having a teammates there to bail you out. The Earth Spirit needs to be the one canceling this grip, and Medusa needs to Manta Style off that Reflection in these team fights. The Reflection Medusa illusions just do too much.
Oh my god, Draken, he's going in on everybody, and the Stomp is going to follow it up. He doesn't hit the chains because it goes outside of the base, but they're breaking TPs and they're killing them both off. Thunder Predator are everywhere.
They're dominating. It's just this constant pickoff game for them. 15 kills now in 19 minutes. They have lost some of their vision. Once again, these wards are getting taken out by Pango, but the damage has been done. The Roche was secured, the fight was won, and now these pickoffs up top. So Thunder Predator going to be feeling very good about the state of this game. And yeah, this Medusa's farming well and continues to stay on top. This is like the naive classic. Try and 1v5 in the late game. He's been so good at it leading up to this tournament, but he's going to need teammates to step it up as well. And right now, like, Sailor and the DK, so incredibly poor. No real chance for him to ever be a big threat in these fights other than just being a stun bot. So he's just going to be trying to, you know, lock down whoever he can to try and secure some of these kills, but there's no real item progression from him.
And again, they find themselves a potential pickoff. They purge off the Frost Shield, and he was gone. Yep. So over and over again, Thunder Predator keep making these moves, and it feels like the Pango just don't want to fight right now. Obviously, Aegis still in hands for a little while, but you can't get picked off like that.
Interesting, Lincoln's queued up on the TB. He had the Skadi, now he's swapping over to a Lincoln's. Really just wanting to address that DK Dragontail initiation, which is kind of one of the main ways he dies, is if he gets stunned and prevented from using that Sunder. So not a bad option, but not as good as the Skadi. And yeah, he's now gone back to queuing up the Skadi. I'd say the Skadi, just raw stats, seems to me a more efficient item.
Yeah.
Lincoln's, honestly, is probably one of the worst items in Dota for its price. It's like that. It's so bad in 99% of games. The games where it's good, it's like, you don't feel good buying it, even though it's going to keep you alive just because you spend so much money on it.
Right, of course. Just love the way that you said that. It's the
Just
worst
keeping it real, Gabe.
Dota.
Just keeping it real.
Oh, the
Maybe
Bane.
not. I don't know. Maybe it's probably like a Meteor Hammer or something. Now I don't know. Meteor Hammer's.
It's definitely Holy Locket.
Holy. Oh, okay. Yeah, you've won this one. Holy Locket takes the cake.
Sorry, Vici. So 21 minutes in, it's 3,000, 4,000 gold lead, and looking for the final Tier 2 tower here. Although, Naive, you mentioned it, he's got the Eul Scepter, a lift up there with the Euls. I guess he just wants to play with the Dusa a little bit. And afterwards, going to walk away. I feel like that's one of those things, too, where like somebody Euls you, there's no way that he does anything. He's just like trying to get in your head a little bit, you know?
Yep. Bait out a reaction or something. Draken, almost 4,000 gold saved up on his Timbersaw. We'll see if he just buys this full Guardian Greaves.
In the meantime, it's a Necro book coming out for the Beastmaster. He had it bought for a second and has the level 3.
Yep. So more mana burn against this Medusa, just make her a whole lot squishier. Naive would love to hit this level 20 before the next big team fight. That'll be a lot of extra survivability if he can get there. And also just getting a butterfly. Yeah, the evasion from this is going to make a big, big difference.
So the timing a little bit off, unfortunately, for Thunder Predator. Aegis is going to be reclaimed right now, but that is the same time that the Scotty comes out. So we'll see what Thunder Predator want to do as far as whether they keep the tempo on. All the Tier 2 towers are taken now. Feels kind of tough to do that.
It's pretty crazy how Medusa's maintained this significant farm and experience lead over TB. A lot of it is the Timbersaw taking up space on the map. Timbersaw is level 18, so he's matching Medusa, but TB's really the hero you want to see, you know, up there with Medusa.
Ooh, they're getting into position here. The roar, the initiation coming, and afterwards they're going to find the stump. The Earth Splitter can land afterwards, and they're going to try and bring down Medusa. No mana at all, but there's going to be the Force Staff trying to walk away from this. They managed to find the Stone Gaze onto the Timbersaw, and that might be enough to get him, but there's going to be the Fiend's Grip. There's no way to break this Ghost Stick. He doesn't have any stun at all. They go for the stun now onto the Bane, but that means there's nothing left over to try and control the rest of these heroes. And now you look at this moment, Thunder Predator, they get 2 buybacks and just going to try and walk away. If they lose Matthew right here, I think that that's perfectly fine as the rest of them are trying to run. Now King R wanting to chase. They want to make sure that they get something out of these buybacks from the Pango. And, well, a first up stun onto the Timbersaw is nice. Can they find any more? Ghost Stick diving deep for this one. They've already used the Magnetized Attune. He walks back in. Got to be so careful here. Naive, he had just bought back for this one. And there's the Nightmare, the Sinister Gaze, doing everything that they can to control Attune. They really want a kill here. And there's going to be the Brain Sap to keep Prada alive a little bit longer. The Silence, long duration onto Attune. But he has the Sunder. The stun, it's out there, but it's not going to be enough to kill him off in time. And he has the Sunder, bringing Naive down low. The Reflection, they've already used the Manta Style, killing off this Dusa. If she goes down now, no buyback for 90 seconds. The chase forward for Sylar. Thunder Predator, what a play.
Oh, they still might get Ghost Stick. This is the Nature's Prophet. Does have buyback, but this is just another big kill. Kill after kill. Thunder Predator are just tearing through the Pango. Oh boy. Luckily, DK's able to push out this mid lane, so I don't think they're in danger of losing racks right now, perhaps. 70 seconds is a long time, though, so TP's got plenty of mana regen, so he's going to have Illusions as well as Metamorph to play around. He had an Arcane Rune, I want to say, for that fight, so Metamorph is already back up.
Huge plays, and it's that feeling like you need to make something happen for the Pango that forces them to chase, but then they end up losing everybody, and now they're going to end up losing a set of racks most likely.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually defend this one.
And they know that the Medusa just bought back. Draken's going forward like he wants to hit the tier 4s. I don't know.
He's maybe just trying to get some reactive armor up. If he tanks some tier 4 shots to get that, that could work, but there we go. He's got the tier 4s on him. Get that reactive armor going, and they're going to go for a second melee racks down, but I don't actually think they can defend this one. But at the same time, if you lose a second lane of racks right now, it may just be game over.
So hard to defend against this. The Pango, they've already lost that Dusa, and 20 seconds left. TB just takes your buildings so quick. The Crimson Guard, the Frost Shield, everything they can lay out there to try and keep this one going. 10 seconds left for Medusa, and Attune kind of wants to go in. It's feeling like a little bit of indecision. I mean, the building is so low, but they're going to leave that second melee racks. Good patience shown there from Thunder Predator.
I like the discipline. I would have preferred if they just went for the melee racks instead of the range. I think they should be able to get the melee and get out. They lingered a bit long in the mid lane getting the range racks, and then they focused the range on the bottom. But hey, safety first, back off, take shrines. You've got complete control of this game right now. no reason to do something that's going to throw away your lead. And, well, Thunder Predator, you know, this is a BO1. This suddenly bumps them up into that kind of next stage of the tournament where they're playing best of threes, no longer in the bottom four. I feel like that in itself is a big achievement for this young South American squad. Not that they'll be happy just with the one win. And they are so close right now.
And they need to close it out. That's the big thing here. We've seen huge comebacks before from Medusas. They didn't take that bottom melee racks, and it is the 700 mana talent now for that Medusa as well. So the Pango certainly not going to be giving up at this stage of the game, but they definitely were hit with a big blow. And it's a BKB now on Terrorblade. Every fight becomes more difficult. They've got a 12,000 net worth lead.
Oh yeah, there's so little he needs to be afraid of now. It's incredibly hard for Pango to take fights. Like, to kill this TB, you have to chain stun him with the DK stun, and, well, that's really it. Earth Spirit's role is not really this constant, reliable stun that you can play around, so I don't think you kill this TB and prevent him getting, you know, his Sunder off, his Metamorph damage. It's a huge problem for them.
Well, they have a 10-second BKB for the Terror, or rather for the Dragon Knight, but also a Halberd now picked up for this Timber Saw. Yeah.
They're playing it safe. They're taking these shrines, and now with the shrines down and mid-rack's gone, Roshan is free for the taking, and it's respawning in 7 seconds' time, so...
Oh. All right, Prada going in.
Medusa.
I mean, they have the silence there afterwards. This feels like a bit of a dangerous fight, but never mind. Assun just wants to walk in and finds himself one kill. That Stone Gaze already used. Thunder Predator, they smell blood, and they want to try and take this as they found the Echo Stomp, the Earth Splitter. A good push away, the kick, able to keep him alive there, but it's not enough. Naive goes down again, 70 seconds gone, and Thunder Predator, they've been able to take this fight. Moving straight down mid if they want to. They're going to have a creep wave soon.
Oh, dear. This is mega creeps potentially, or at least another melee racks.
Oh,
and
Ghost Stick. This is what you need to do. Stall, do whatever you can to stop it.
Yeah. Got to grab those creep waves. And they're going to have to hunt him down. They found him with the Nightmare. He may die for this, but it's the play he had to make.
Everything you can do. You need 40 seconds, the Pango, to stop this pressure, but they will lose Ghost Stick for it. Now,
it's not just him.
Naive, he gets the blink away, just barely.
Oh, he's got no TP on Sailor.
Sailor trying to run. They've still got creeps there in the bottom lane, but...
Yeah, they're going to go Roshan. They say, okay, we maybe could have taken a melee Rex there if we dealt with that wave cutting and all that, but guess what? We've got ourselves an Aegis. We've got ourselves a cheese. We'll wait for the next Metamorph, and then we'll have another go at this. Address the split push. Don't take too many risks here. Yeah, they could have perhaps sealed the deal there, but I think the Thunder Predator approach, considering this is the best of one, very appropriate.
And how heads up of a play is that from Prada to recognize, all right, if I Nightmare and Fiend's Grip, there's nothing that anybody can do in time. By the time we can take that fight, we're going to be able to win it.
Yeah, it kept them in place. And that's, again, it's the vision. He had a ward on that high ground. Mid-team fight, Lich put a sentry there and was trying to de-ward. He's like, this ward is going to lose us this fight. And sure enough, TB gets reflection on Medusa from the low ground. And then they're able to just chase Medusa down. She can't TP away, even after popping Stone Gaze, because there's an ET Spirit on her that can stomp. There's also a Timber Chain into Yules from the Timber Source. So they had ways to cancel TP while she was Stone Gazing.
You look at this, Thunder Predator ready to move in again for this Tier 3 tower. With Guardian Greaves, Cheese, every damn thing on Draken right now.
I think they're waiting. They've got Bounty Runes and then 25 seconds till Metamorph, so they'll wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
Bit more gold influx for them, and no huge rush, considering that TP's also about to hit level 20, which may be something they want to wait for. He's farming up some Ancients here to get some more XP. Doesn't look like he'll quite get it in time.
Oh my god, the Bounty Rune disparity in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's significant map control. You talked about the vision. All those things. And of course, heroes that can just, Nightmare and steal the rune, run away if you need to.
So TB, one more creep wave away from level 20, and then got to imagine it's about go time. They want to address this split push down bottom first, and they found Nature's Prophet.
Yet again, they're going to just start punching them in a second here.
There's the travels
Fiend's Grip afterwards. They're taking their time with it, and the movement in, can they kill him off? I mean, he's got the Yule Scepter afterwards. He's super dead.
Yep. Boots of Travel on Timbersaw, directly addressing the split push problem with his itemization. I like it, and they're just pinging the melee racks down bottom. Now you've addressed the creep wave equilibrium. They do need to be careful mid.
Danger time indeed as they found themselves one. Can they blow him up in time? The buyback coming from Ghostic, but Attune is there as well, and he is going to start laying into these heroes. Can he bring them down though? They're so freaking tanky here on this Dragon Knight. They've already found the kill onto King R, and it looks like this Dragon Knight is going to be able to walk away, get the blink TP, but Medusa, the big bad carry that you need to stay alive through all of this, just get the Stone Gaze off, but they're keeping Matthew up front and center. There's going to be the Orchid keeping him slowed down for the moment. Prada ends up finding the Nightmare, and that's a dead Medusa. Buys back immediately. They've got to keep these heroes alive. They've got to defend their towers, but it's not looking like it's going to happen as they lose the Lich as well, forced to buy back immediately. And it looks like with that Thunder Predator, are they going to keep pushing for more here?
They've got the Aegis still. Metamorph has a little bit longer on it, but not too much.
Don't want to overextend, but simultaneously you want to close down this game if you can have an opportunity to do it. The Reflection, this Medusa is killing her own teammates, and more importantly, it's going to be Thunder Predator that are taking down the buildings.
Spotting Rex is down to creeps.
That they possibly can do. They might end up just getting megaed here as they get the roll through, trying to find this kill onto Attune. He still has the Reflection and the Sunder, turns it around yet again. Medusa is being hit by herself, but Disarm can't do anything back towards Thunder Predator at all. 26,000 gold lead, and they're trying to take down the final set of racks. Are they going to burn through that Aegis? Yes, they will, but this Terrorblade is coming back in a second. And Thunder Predator dominant in this game. Reflection thrown out yet again. And Ghostic, the Pango, they're in trouble. They're mega'd, and they might just be out of this tournament as GG is called.
Wow, what a showing from the South American squad, from Thunder Predator. A team coming to this major unexpectedly for them. We saw in the interview, they thought they were out. They'd lost to PainX, but given the slot after PainX were disqualified, and they're making their mark on this major.
I mean, really impressive showing. Obviously, best of ones. You can see right there, a happy squad, and they're going to be moving on in this tournament. And for the Pango, it's got to hurt. They came in as the #1 seed from CIS. You were able to take down VP in those matches, and then to get knocked out in the bottom of the tournament, can't feel good. But
yeah, it's so tough playing these tournaments with the stand. And we saw with Liquid, they got clobbered by Team Secret yesterday, a team they would normally be pretty even against because they don't have Miracle. Pango missing one of their best players, and it really showed here. I think the Earth Spirit was very unimpactful in the early game, just couldn't quite do anything. You're pointing out there, he's 1-11. Yeah. He really struggled, and they just didn't look like the same team that they did in the qualifiers without Zayats.
Well, Thunder Predator moving on in the day of elimination. Best of ones all around. We've got 2 more that are coming up soon, but first we're going to head back to the panel, see what they thought about that series. Crazy stuff. South America's doing it.